Today just ain't the day, bro. I'm tired. I was up all night. I barely got any sleep. And here I am trying to do this video. I do not feel like doing it today. I know I promised my people once a week. I know that's what I said, but can't they respect I've been doing it for the last 8 weeks straight? Like, can they give me a week off, bro? I'm burnt out, man. I don't know what to do. This coffee ain't doing me no justice. Like, yeah, yeah. It's a well deserved day off. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it. You know what? As a matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Hit this record button. I ain't about to do no long video. I ain't about to be doing all that talking, all that extra stuff today. I'm just gonna show up and do what I need to do to get the video done and move on with my life. Play the intro thing. What up, though? It's Rasta White. In today's video, I really want to talk to y'all about the art of showing up. Out the gate, I want to say this. Don't be led by your emotions. Don't let your emotions dictate if you're going to show up or not. Why am I saying this? Because this is literally 9 times out of 10, when we don't show up, it's because we just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing it today. I don't blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you one thing about success in life and what I'm learning, and even the things that God wants you to do in your purpose. It's not always predicated on what you feel like doing. It's not. A medical emergency is one thing, but you simply not feeling like it just because you didn't get as much sleep as you normally get, unfortunately, is not a good enough reason to not show up. I'm learning this the hard way. I used to be the guy who barely went to school because I didn't feel like getting up in the morning. I was the guy who lost jobs just because I didn't feel like going to work. So I kept getting in trouble, and then you know how that story ends, right? But I'm learning now as I get older, as I get wiser, as I grow my family, you have to show up every day. You have to decide to show up every day. If God or something happens, an interruption where you can't show up, that's different. But you have to start mastering showing up regardless of how you feel. I know it may sound harsh, it may sound a little cold, but listen, have you ever not wanted to do something for whatever reason? You ain't even know why you didn't want to do it. You just didn't feel like doing it. And then you do it and it ended up being one of the best experiences you ever had. I've been there so many times. There's times where we didn't feel like going to church, right? We go to church and it's literally the best sermon, the best message that we literally needed at that time in our life, okay? When you don't do stuff because you don't feel like it, a lot of times it's the trick of the enemy trying to keep you from doing something when it's about to be a situation that's really about to help you, a situation that God wants you to walk into, a situation that you need right now, but you don't show up. That's one side of it. The other side is this: showing up to do the things that you know you need to do for you. If you're a YouTuber, if you're supposed to drop a video every week, like I promised my audience to do, unfortunately, you got to keep doing it every week. I know life happens, I know things happen. But if it's not a medical emergency, nothing that's immobilizing you to where you can't do it, right? God forbid, you got to do your video. Not my last video, but the video before last, I believe I had the flu, or I had the flu the day before. And I felt crappy, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I got in here, I set up this camera, and I was like, man, I do not feel like doing this video today. I'm like, I might just give it another day or two, but I was already coming close to overlapping my week, right? So I'm like, but it'll be okay, if I drop it 9 days instead of 7, and you feel me? But then I was like, you know what? I gotta show up. There's people watching my videos. There's people that are getting inspired by my video. God told me to start creating these videos to help people. I gotta show up. I can't let the flesh stop me. Don't let the flesh stop you. The flesh will trick you into not doing things that you need to do for you, for your purpose, for God, and for your family. Okay, so straight out the gate, don't let your emotions lead you and make your decisions. Okay. Now I want to give y'all 3 benefits that you will get if you keep showing up, okay? The formula of showing up, the art of showing up, right? All that sound real good. But these are three benefits that every person I've seen show up consistently all the time, no matter what. These are the benefits they get. One, you begin to build trust and reliability. Do you have a family that's watching this, or do you have are you in a relationship? If you are, right, one of the key things to having a strong relationship, and this is what I'm learning throughout my marriage and throughout being a father, is trust and reliability. Do people trust you? And can people rely on you? If not, it's probably because you don't always show up. Because you one day you showing up, another day you not, or you showing up because you feel like it, but the day you don't feel like it, you don't show up. This is what I was doing probably last year. Like I was kept falling into that loop. But it's like you gotta start learning that I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna just show up. And this is a little trick that I use as well to show up. I started saying to myself things like, okay, I might not perform like I normally would perform because I'm not feeling how I normally feel. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give 100% today, regardless. And whatever that 100% is, whatever the results of that, I'm gonna be good with that because I understand that if I at least show up, I keep the momentum going, I keep the drive going, and people see me as somebody they can rely on regardless. Okay. So that's one benefit. People will start to trust you and be like, man, he reliable. He ain't perfect. It's not about being perfect. But if you call him, he coming. Am I talking about people that's asking you to do things and inconveniencing you and things of that nature? No. I'm talking about if you go to church, if you create videos every week, if you made a commitment to yourself to show up on a certain amount, on a certain basis, you got to start honoring that. Another example, just to give you a quick one. Now I'll go to the gym twice a week, right? I work out at home and I'll go to the gym twice a week. And what I'm learning is this: it's not about whether if I get sick and I want to go to the gym, right? It's not about if I go in there and I just crush it and do a crazy workout, right? And blah blah blah. I walk home feeling so accomplished. No, it's about if I'm sick, I'm gonna at least go to the gym and I'm at least work out for 5 minutes, right? You got to start getting that type of mindset shift. I'm gonna just show up because when you show up, your brain checks it off as if you did it. So now you didn't interrupt your habit. You didn't interrupt your system. Once you start breaking your habits, then you start being inconsistent. And inconsistent is another word for unreliable. Okay. So that's one benefit. People start trusting you and you start becoming more reliable. Second benefit is this: you improve your skills and it leads to mastery. The best people are the people that practice the most. I love AI. Big fan of AI. We talking about practice. Yes, practice is more important than the game because if you're not practicing, you're not preparing, you're going to be practicing in the game. Okay, you're going to be shaking your rust off in the game, so that's one thing to remember, like practice, showing up, being consistent. That's how you master something. That's what I'm learning. Like, if I don't do these videos every week, if I just do them whenever I feel like doing them, if I just do it this week and then you might not see another video for another month, and then I do 2 videos, then you might not see one for another 3 months. If I was doing that on that loop, my skill would not be getting sharpened. Yes, I'm learning. Yes, I'm probably improving as I go. But that guy who's recording every week, no matter what, is going to surpass me. He's going to blow past me. He's going to outgrow me because he's mastering his craft versus me, where I'm just kind of iffy about it, right? Kobe Bryant, for example, he always showed up to practice. He practiced more than people. He showed up more than people. He showed up to the gym first. 2 hours before the game, he already there working out. By the time everybody get there, he already drenched in sweat because he been there training, right? You got to start learning to put that time in and understand that if you want to be the best at whatever you're doing and you want to master it, you got to simply master showing up all the time. So that's the second benefit you get. And third, but not least, is you become resilient and disciplined. But you become a person that just, it's something about it. Like, as of this year, I've been talking about commitment and covenants, right? The covenants I have in my life with my family, my church family, and things of that nature. And I've been honoring my covenants and I've been seeing the benefits of it. And I'm like, I'm learning to where, for example, I can have a disagreement with My brother Terrence that I do videos with, I can have a disagreement with my wife. And I remember a year or two ago, once I have a disagreement or an argument or something like that, I shut down. Like I shut down for a day or two. You feel me? I don't got no motivation to do this and do that. But now I'm getting to a point to where literally I can have a little storm, little situation, and the next day I'm back working. I can have a little debacle, you feel me? And literally the next 30 minutes, I shift my mindset, I get my attitude right, and then I'll go out and perform and I execute. And I'm learning that that is the secret that a lot of these successful big people, that's one of the keys that they know. They know how to, no matter what, be resilient. No matter what's going on in your family, you still gonna show up to work. You don't take family life to work. Same with your family, right? You have a bad day at work, you don't bring that home. You come home and you do your best to smile, you do your best to treat your family right because you don't want to be seen as, not even seen as. You start to develop the resilience to not let that hurt you enough to do that. You get what I mean? Like the hurt of today, you could bounce back from that and recover and go home, and then you just move on and do something different, right? And of course, y'all know resilience is also being able to bounce back, right? So you a person that you can fail today, and you back at it tomorrow. You can literally have a take a big L, right? Take a big lesson, right? You take a big L, and literally, people see you like this man back on the court already. Didn't he just take a big loss? He should be on the bench for a couple months. This man, this dude crazy. Like he acting like he didn't just embarrass himself. He back out there, yeah, because he resilient. That's why. He don't care. He moving. He consistently growing. He learning to go through the trail, get knocked down, and get right back up. I'm gonna tell you this if you're watching this. Well, you clearly are watching this, right? You know how to ride a bike. Everybody know how to ride a bike. If you don't know how to ride a bike, then I don't know what to tell you. But you know how to ride a bike. You notice that when we kids, we are more resilient. And as we get into adulthood, for some reason, we start to become a person that fall off the bike and never get back on the bike again. Did you ever notice that? But when you're riding a bike, you literally falling as a kid, you getting right back up. That's why I observe children now and I realize it's a lot of qualities that children have that fade away from us, like that kid inside of you. Don't let it fade away from you because kids be fearless. Kids be out here doing what they got to do. Kids get into it with their friend, right? And then they right back playing with them 20 minutes later. They forgot. They moved past that. Kids are more resilient than most of us adults, right? So start paying attention to things like that and start just observing and being like, wow, I got to start mastering what I already did. It's in you. You are resilient. If you learn how to ride a bike, you are resilient. Okay. I remember I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he was talking about starting a business is no different from riding a bike. He said you falling in this embarrassing at first. You failing. I failed. I had a few business failures over the last few years, right? But you start to learn to just get right back up. Who cares? Like people, and that's the thing, people don't really care anyway. People might laugh at you. Ha ha ha, look at him, he fell on the ground, blah, blah, blah. And then when they see you ride the next day, they be like, oh, I stand corrected. Right? That's a quality that you get from always being a person that show up. So if you watching this video, you showed up to watch this video. Start showing up for the things in your life that you want to improve on. Start making the content. Start doing the thing you want to do consistently. And last thing I want to touch on is this. If you notice too, the only thing we treat with that type of respect and that type of drive is our jobs. Think about it. You don't feel like going to work, but guess what? You're going to go to work. Unless you a bold person who ain't got no bills, you going to go to work. Why? Yeah, the consequences are if you don't show up to work, you're probably going to get fired, right? So there is bad consequences to it. But you got to learn to treat your business the same way and treat your personal passions and the thing, your craft. Your craft is the most important thing. Like we got it backwards. Showing up to your job, okay, I get it. You don't feel like doing it. So you're resilient when it comes to your job. Be resilient when it comes to your personal craft. Be resilient when it comes to your family. Be resilient with that stuff. Start bouncing back and just doing what you got to do consistently. Treat it with the same respect. That's one big thing, like with a lot of business partners, a lot of my real estate network and things like that, we be talking about. It's like, we got to start treating this like a job. Like literally the most entrepreneurs that fail is because you get to make your own schedule, right? So what you start doing, you start sleeping in. You stop showing up to the office at the same time every day. You stop treating it with the same respect that you did your job. But if you can learn to apply that same energy to your job, not to your job, but to your personal craft, you will be successful. If you're watching this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me. We going. You don't even got to follow me. Join me. Join me on this journey. I'm learning to master stuff. I'm learning the art of showing up. I am a student right now. I'm learning. I appreciate you for watching this video. Let's keep moving. Let's keep growing. And most importantly, let's keep showing up. I'm Rasta White. Peace out.